So last Monday, my family decided we were going to try this trendy new thing called Meatless Monday. My mom read an article about how it's good for the planet and probably for our arteries, and my little sister, who recently became a vegetarian after watching exactly 3 TikToks, was all for it. My dad, on the other hand, is a man who considers bacon a condiment and still thinks tofu is some kind of packing material. But to keep the peace, and because he lost a bet about who could eat the most jalapenos, he agreed to handle dinner. "How hard can grilling tofu be?" he said, with the confidence of a man who routinely burns toast. Things started off suspiciously enough when Dad unwrapped the tofu and stared at it like it owed him money. He marinated it in what I can only describe as whatever was left in the fridge drawer, which included barbecue sauce, pickle juice, and a suspicious amount of sriracha. He slapped those tofu slabs on the grill and instantly, an unholy smell drifted across the backyard. That's when Mrs. Jenkins' dog, Meatball, started barking like he'd just seen a squirrel made of steak. This was odd, because Meatball usually only gets excited about mailmen, thunder, and the rare occasion when Mrs. Jenkins accidentally drops her dentures on the porch. As Dad tried to convince the tofu to get grill marks, "Come on, just a little sear. Make it look like chicken, at least," Meatball's barks became more insistent. Suddenly, he started pawing at the fence, and before we knew it, other neighborhood dogs began to arrive, like he'd set out a group text, "Urgent, tofu crisis at 114 Maple Drive, bring signs." Within minutes, we had what can only be described as a canine picket line, complete with barking, howling, and a very confused golden retriever holding a stick in its mouth like it was on strike. My dad tried to reason with them, waving a spatula and yelling, "It's high protein, it's healthy." But the dogs were having none of it. Even the neighbor's cat showed up, presumably to supervise the chaos. In the end, the tofu crumbled, the dogs staged a sit-in, and my sister declared she was emotionally exhausted from the whole affair. Mrs. Jenkins came to retrieve Meatball, who was now wearing one of my dad's grill mitts as a protest accessory. As we looked around at the carnage, Dad sighed and said, "Well, I guess even the dogs agree, when it comes to tofu, it's just not worth barking up the wrong tree."